Make no mistake about it, the Lions' best defensive player is officially back.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We got ourselves a Thursday edition, everybody, of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today is Thursday, May the 22nd, and Friday, May the 23rd. What's going on, everybody? Matt Derry with you, talking Detroit Lions football. A lot of the players hit the podium today to discuss being back in the building, being at OTAs, and the Lions' best defensive player, Aidan Hutchinson, had a pretty big announcement today. We will get to that coming up momentarily. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there that watch and listen to the podcast daily. We appreciate all of you. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and of course, on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel as well. Mention Aidan Hutchinson. Got to get into a discussion about him today. Our boy Ben Johnson. Oh, yeah, Benedict. Benedict's back at it. He doesn't like the Tush Push. Oh, Ben doesn't like the Tush Push. Can't wait to tell you what he had to say. Many of you, including friends of mine, have been sending me social media, TikTok videos, reels off Instagram of certain other blogs, certain other podcasts, certain other shows predicting the Lions' demise. I want to discuss that coming up as well. Also, we will have a call of the day. If you want to be our call of the day, you can go to speakpipe.com/Derry podcast page. That's DERY podcast page. Leave a voicemail on there, and you too can be our call of the day. We're going to play our best one from the last couple of days here shortly, right here on this Thursday edition of Locked On Lions. Excited. I'm heading downtown tonight. Going to check out little Guardians. Tigers. Tigers are playing great baseball. It's freezing outside. Maybe it's because I'm wearing short sleeves, but bundle up for that. Man, that basketball game last night, Halliburton and what the Pacers did at the Garden. I've been telling you on this podcast, I know my boy Josh Choice, one of our everydayers, he texts me all the time. You've been calling the Pacers. Telling you, Indiana's going to the finals. I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win, but man, what a game last night. Well, we're getting ready for Lions season, of course, September 7th at Curly Lambeau Field in Green Bay against the Packers at 4:25. And a lot of questions have been asked. Are we going to get Aidan Hutchinson back at full strength? Are the Lions going to see the player that was on pace and destined to win the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award last year before his leg snapped in half in Dallas in what was it, week 4, week 5? Week 4 in Dallas. And will he be able to return to form? We've seen videos of him running. We've seen things that he's posted. We've seen pictures of him on the Lions website, working out at the facility down there at 222. All of those things. Today, the Lions made Aidan Hutchinson available to the media for the first time since the injury. And I wasn't expecting this kind of news. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. But when asked, what's next? How are you feeling? What's going to happen here? Where are you at in your progress and process? Aidan Hutchinson said, I was fully cleared weeks ago. Aidan Hutchinson is back, says he's running, saying he's on the field with his teammates for organized team activities. He talked about being back with the boys, and he's ready, and says he's ready to play. So Aidan Hutchinson fully cleared is some of the best news you could possibly hear coming out of the mouths of anybody down in Allen Park at the Lions, at the Meyer practice facility. This is an enormous, enormous news. And the reason I say that is because different players respond different ways to major injuries. Hutch last year, as we all know, broke his fibula and tibia on the same play, trying to rush Dak Prescott in that Lions-Cowboy game last year. And it was a great day. The Lions were absolutely smoking, body bagging the Cowboys on that day, and just, annihilating them. And it was like a party. And Hutchinson on that turf at Jerry World, the leg just kind of moved a certain way as he was rushing the passer, and he got caught up. And tibia and fibula is no joke. And there was no way. I'm sorry. I know that he said if we made the Super Bowl, I was going to make a miraculous comeback. There is no way he was going to be out there for the Super Bowl if the Lions had made a run in February. I just don't see it. But here on May 22nd, he announces he's fully cleared and ready to go and ready to participate in off-season activities, OTAs. He'll be at mandatory minicamp. I don't think you're going to see him in the preseason game, but he's going to want to take part in joint practices. We told you yesterday or a couple days ago, Lions and Dolphins and Lions and Texans likely are going to have joint practices. Our man John Macaroon from Lions on SI said he's been told Lions and Dolphins before they play the preseason game August 16th will have joint practices for sure that first week. Detroit and Houston has not been finalized as of yet. But Hutch is going to want to be out there. But he's the single most important player on this defense. And yes, I get it. There are people that are going to doubt him. There are people that are going to say he just won't be the same. He's coming back from this is major surgery. He was in the hospital, as he described today, for weeks following the surgery on his tibia and fibula. Two major bones in your leg. And, but as he said today, I'm 24 years old. I'm young. I'm spry. I'm a quick healer. I've been working out. I've been rehabbing properly. And I believe I can get back to form. And if there's somebody, anybody, I sound like a DJ, anybody, scream. If there's anybody that can come back from this, it's him. He is such a hard worker. He puts in so much time. He never takes a play off, ever. He's got as good a motor as on a defensive end that I've ever seen. And he's like, no restrictions. I'm ready. He was asked a couple of times today. And he's like, no, fully cleared. He wanted to make it clear. Fully cleared from this injury. I'm trying to see where I'm going to find. Yeah. I got cleared a while back, quote, and I'm just rolling with the boys now. And it feels like I'm being back to myself again. He would later clarify that he is, quote, unquote, fully cleared. Again, tibia and fibula. That was week 6 last year against the Cowboys. He's been taking part in OTAs. Quote, I'm really looking forward to the season. I think this is the most excited I've been for OTAs in my life. It's the biggest hiatus I've had without playing ball. So I am pumped. Hutchinson led the team with 7.5 sacks through 4.5 games. Ended up being the sack leader of the team with 7.5 sacks through all the games. All right. He finished with 3.5 sacks more than anybody else on the team. And now he will get this opportunity to return to form and be out on the field with his teammates. You got to figure for those joint practices and then week 1 against the Packers. I don't see any way that Coach Campbell is going to put him out there in the preseason. So you'll have to wait a little bit to see him. But he is ferocious. He is a game changer from that edge spot. Teams know they've got to prepare for him. Other teams prepare for the Lions, other teams' offenses, and they know first and foremost, the first guy you circle on that scouting report is number 97. And we've sat here for months, and we've talked about who's going to play opposite of Hutchinson. And will Marcus Davenport fit the bill? And why didn't they draft an edge rusher until the 6th round? It's because they've got an elite guy on the other side. So our expectations are that the other edge rusher is going to be good. This guy is special. And we saw it at the start of last season. And I just think it's unbelievable news to be getting Aidan Hutchinson back and fully cleared by doctors. You just never know. Certain players takes longer. Certain surgeries, we're pushing it back, we're moving it back. It needs more time. This guy has been fighting tooth and nail to get back out there on the field. And he's going to be back sooner rather than later, which I think is great. So huge news for the Lions and their defense. They're going to need him. Last year, they won 15 football games. They went 15-2 last year and basically played 3/4 of the season without Hutch. That ain't happening again this year. No way. First of all, I don't think they're winning 15 games. Second of all, if he goes down with another injury, knock on wood, I don't see there's any way that they can kind of recreate what they did a year ago. But he brings so much to the table and is just such a pain in the ass for quarterbacks. So excited to hear that news and get the news that Aidan Hutchinson is back and fully cleared. All right, our old buddy Ben Johnson is in the news. While the Lions said Tush Push didn't get voted through to ban, good, keep it, got to stop it. Dan Campbell's old school. His buddy and former offensive coordinator, the Benedict, Ben Johnson, had some interesting comments about the Tush Push. We'll tell you about those coming up next. Hey, but first we got to tell you about our buddies at LinkedIn. As a small business owner, your work doesn't end when the clock hits 5. Your business is always on your mind, which means when it's time to hire, you need a partner that works just as hard as you do. That's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. When you clock out, LinkedIn clocks in. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free. You share it with your network. You get qualified candidates all in one place. And I mentioned it yesterday. I'm on LinkedIn all of the time. So if you're seeing job postings and stuff, I know it's effective. I see it. You post your job right there on LinkedIn. Their new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people with deep candidate insights. And here's a pro tip. Add the hashtag hiring frame to your profile picture to double your reach to qualified candidates. No wonder 72% of small businesses say LinkedIn helps them find high quality hires. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. It's a Thursday edition of Locked On Lions, everybody, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for checking us out, making us your first listen each and every day. Don't forget, Locked On Tigers, Scotty Bentley, Locked On Pistons with Koo, and Locked On Red Wings as well with B Fish. Those guys do great shows. Check them out daily as well if you want your fix on the other teams around here. Don't forget Locked On Michigan and Michigan State as well. All right. Ben Johnson was up on the podium yesterday following the news, and we had it for you yesterday on the show, that yes, indeed, the Tush Push, the Philadelphia Eagles short yardage play where the running backs and tight ends stand behind Jalen Hurts and push him forward for goal line touchdowns for 4th and 1 plays. The Tush Push, which the Green Bay Packers wanted banned, did not get banned. NFL owners, they needed 24 out of 32 owners to vote yes to ban it. Only 22 voted on it, so it stays. One of the teams that voted no, do not ban it, was our very own Detroit Lions. One of the teams that voted against or for banning it were the Chicago Bears, who, of course, now coached by former Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. And we joke about Ben Johnson leaving and calling him Benedict Johnson, and he took some shots at Jared Goff and all this stuff. So Johnson hit the podium yesterday and was asked about the Tush Push. And I don't know. I heard this yesterday and I watched the clip, and I'm not going to play it I'll just read it to you. But I thought it was a little bit, Ben Johnson's cocky, man. Like Ben Johnson's, he's acting differently as the head coach than he was as the OC. So they asked him about, what he thinks about the Tush Push staying. And he said, quote, "Have you ever seen a Tush Push become an explosive play? I like explosive plays. I like big plays. So I'm not a big Tush Push guy myself," end quote. Did I ever see the Tush Push become an explosive play? Listen, bro, like if it's 4th and goal and the Eagles need a touchdown badly in a close game, let's say they're down 6 and they go to the Tush Push, that's an explosive play to me because it just tied the game, and a Jake Elliott extra point for the Eagles puts them in front. Like a touchdown from 4th and goal, yes, might not be an explosive play, but it's a pretty effective play and might be explosive if it helps you win. Ben Johnson just likes explosive plays. That's it. So, like, if the Bears have a 4th and 1 in week 1 against, who are they playing? Minnesota? I think it's Minnesota. Is it Monday Night Football against Minnesota? Like, if they get a 4th and 1 and they convert it on a quarterback sneak or a fullback dive, does Ben Johnson say, "Nah, I don't like that. It's not explosive enough for me"? No, it gets you a first down. What's Ben Johnson talking about? I like explosive plays. I'm not a tush push guy myself. Oh, okay. Are you with me on this? Because like I need some backing on. I can't wait to go on the YouTube channel and check out the comments. I think that's a dumb thing to say. I only like explosive plays. Well, 3rd and 2 and throwing a screen pass that gets you 2.5 yards is a first down. Do you not like that because it's not technically explosive? I know what Ben Johnson means. Explosive plays are big yak plays and yards after the catch, or DeAndre Swift, his running back in Chicago, a long touchdown run, 40 yards. That's explosive. All right. Colston Loveland, their tight end from Michigan. He's going to catch a 50-yard touchdown pass. That's an explosive play. Tush push, while boring and while, yes, sort of really against the rules of what the league is trying to do, especially you not assisting defensive players. But on offense, the Eagles are using it. The announcers seem to love it. All right. And nobody can stop it. Remember last year in the playoff game when Frankie Louvu from the Commanders just kept jumping over the line and causing a scene and all these penalties on the goal line? It made the game interesting. What the Eagles are doing with this play has been innovative because no one's stopping it and they just keep doing it. But Ben Johnson doesn't like it because it's not an explosive play. Okay. I just thought that was interesting and something I wanted to bring up. I am so excited for Lions Bears home opener, September 14th. I cannot even tell you. I want the Lions to punish the Bears. Oh my gosh. I want that so badly. I just do. And I have a lot of respect for Ben Johnson. The job he did here, he was phenomenal. Probably the best offensive coordinator this town has ever seen. But he's gone to Chicago and he's gotten a little cocky for me. And nothing I'd like to see more than the Lions throttle the Bears a couple times this year. We'll see. He's going to do a good job. He's got a lot of talent. He's a good coach. Is he a good head coach? We're about to find out. Speaking of the NFC North, many of you have been sending me, including our buddy Nathan Litke, who I always refer to as the executive producer. I'm getting a lot of text messages. Let me just use this as an example. Even though I really don't want to promote any of these people that are predicting some doom and gloom for the Lions, but I'm going to, I got to find this. I was not prepared, but here we go. Nate Litke sent me a video recently from a Twitter feed, from Score North. It is, it's a Vikings podcast. And these guys, including the host, Declan Goff, who does the Purple Daily podcast and works for Score North, SKOR North. He's predicting that the Detroit Lions are going to finish in last place, that he sees a steep demise for the Lions, and that they're going to finish in last in the division. Now, the division is damn good, all right? And I think... Do I think the Bears? I don't think the Bears are going to win the division, but am I totally saying there's no chance it's happening? I'm not. Can Minnesota win this division? Yes, they're good. They almost won it last year. JJ McCarthy might be better than Sam Darnold. We're going to have to find out. Green Bay, very good team. Packers can ball. All right. They could win the division. The Bears, I don't think are going to, but do they have enough talent? And what if Ben Johnson is some mastermind as a head coach? Sure, you could give the Chicago a chance. We're talking about the back-to-back NFC North champions. We're talking about a team that yesterday on the podcast, I told you, has 5 players on the PFF top 25 players under 25 on their roster. Penei Sewell is number 1. Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and Kirby Joseph, all on that list. There is a lot of good young talent with the Lions. They have a damn good quarterback in Jared Goff, who I think is still the best quarterback in the division. You got Aidan Hutchinson coming back. You got improvements on defense, including with DJ Reed. Our call today is going to ask about the secondary. Linebackers are healthy again. The Lions are damn good. Predicting that the Lions are going to finish last? I don't see it. And this is not the only, I'm getting constant people did you see this blog? And that they're predicting the Lions because the schedule's too hard. I don't see it. The Lions played the schedule that they were given last year. And yes, they won 15 games. But this is the NFL. You're not playing a lot of cupcakes here. Lions went on the road last year. Everybody said, oh my gosh, it's a downpour in Green Bay. They're not going to win in the rain in Green Bay. They did. Oh no, Goff in December at Soldier Field. It's too cold. Goff won't. Oh yeah, they ran that stumble bum play and they beat the Bears. Lions at the Vikings. I could go on and on. They went undefeated on the road last year. There's no way. I'm telling you now, the Lions will not go undefeated on the road this year. I'm realistic enough with that road schedule and how difficult it is. Having to go to Baltimore, having to go to Kansas City, having to go to Cincinnati, having to go to Philly, having to go to Washington. It's going to be a B. And it rhymes with snitch. It's going to be tough. But picking the Lions to finish last because the schedule's hard and they're going to regress, I don't see that. You see the defense last year in the playoff game? How many guys were not there? They didn't get blown out by the Commanders. I mean, they lost, but you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get our call of the day in here. We'll do that coming up next right here on this Thursday edition of Locked On Lions. We love our listeners. We love our viewers. We thank all of you for making us your first listen daily here on Locked On Lions. It is time now for our call of the day. And a guy by the name of Dylan Smith, who says he's an everydayer, is checking in with us. He is our call of the day. He went to speakpipe.com/Derry, DERY podcast page and put in his submission. Let's take a listen.
Hey, Matt, Dylan here, everyday listener. And I was just curious, would you say that the Lions are a top 5 secondary in the league? We got the best safety duo in the league with Branch and Kirby. And then we also got a really good corner in DJ Reed and an upcomer in Terry and Arnold. And then Amik Robinson and Ennis Rakestraw. With that, would you say the Lions are a top 5 secondary in the league? You got the Eagles, you got the Broncos, and a couple other teams in there in the mix too. But I just want to hear your thoughts and thanks.
Hi, Dylan. Thank you very much. Thanks for being our call of the day today. It's interesting talking about the best secondaries in the league. He mentioned Philadelphia and Denver as both being likely top 5 secondaries across the NFL. Philadelphia's secondary last year with the additions of Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. I know CJ Gardner-Johnson did not have a great year last year, but yes, I would say that Philadelphia is definitely a top 5 secondary. The Browns with Denzel Ward and that group have a very good secondary. And this is just kind of me off the top of my head answering Dylan's question. I mean, the Jets with Sauce Gardner. I love Baltimore secondary. I think Marlon Humphrey's a stud. I like Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton. That's a very good secondary. He mentioned Denver. The Broncos. Yeah, I mean, the Broncos secondary has Patrick Surtain, but the rest of it, I don't know if I would go as far to say it's top 5. I'll say this, Dylan, to answer your question here on Call of the Day. I would say the Lions have a top 5 secondary tandem. Would I say it's a top 5 secondary in the entire league? I don't know if I'm ready to go there yet. I don't love the Bears front 4. I think their linebackers are a tad bit overrated. I think the Bears secondary is pretty good. Dallas with Diggs and Bland is a good secondary. I love the Baltimore secondary. I think the Lions have a top 10 secondary if Terrion Arnold makes the jump that we expect him to make. Because I do think they've upgraded with DJ Reed over Carlton Davis. And I'll say this, the Tampa Bay secondary with Winfield and that group, pretty darn good too. They were very banged up last year and had guys missing time, but that's a good secondary too, off the top of my head. But, top 5 secondary, no. Top 5 possibility this year, if Arnold plays the way we expect him to in year 2, I'd say yes, based on, you're right. DJ Reed's an upgrade. I love Amik Robertson in the slot. And I love our safeties with Branch and Kirby Joseph, not ready to say it's a top 5 secondary in all the league yet. Because if you look at the numbers and you look at how the Lions defense, yes, while it's gotten better every year and it has, it's gone up, it's improved. They still give up a lot of yards through the air. And some of that last year was once Aidan Hutchinson went out, the pass rush just was not great, as we know. So, and some of this is on the secondary. I know early in the year, there were a lot of penalties and Terry Arnold and everything else, but I wouldn't say it's a top 5 secondary now. He mentioned Philly and Denver. I mentioned Cleveland. I mentioned Baltimore. Bears secondary is pretty good. But I'd say it's close, especially with those safeties. But the corners is another question. I mean, at least with Terrion, last year, Kendall Vildor had to play a lot toward the end of the year too. So we'll have to see on that. But great question from Dylan. We appreciate him checking in on our call of the day. We're back again tomorrow with a Friday edition of Locked On Lions. Happy Memorial Day weekend coming up, everybody. This is like kind of the official start of summer, yet I was outside today, spitting rain and cold. Not exactly baseball weather for this evening down at Comerica Park. Big AL Central showdown. Tigers are best record in the game. I mean, how could you argue with how they are playing? So we'll be back again tomorrow with a full slate here on Locked On Lions. Thanks for making us your first listen, everybody. If you missed any of the shows during the week, go back and check them out. We had Jamie Edmonds on from WJR, who co-hosts the morning show there, and of course was at Channel 4 for a long time. That was on Tuesday. And again, check out Locked On Sports Detroit tonight with Jake Riepma after Tigers and Guardians, and he will have a live postcast right there on Locked On Sports Detroit. All right, everybody, back again tomorrow with another fresh episode. Of a great rest of your evening. We are back again tomorrow.